represent IFAL, my company, and Trinidad and Tobago at the 9th International African Caribbean Forum. And particularly we part of the discussion around Caribbean African cooperation and today's global before we dive into what all the above mean, I think it's important to acknowledge the substantive contribution that both the Caribbean and Africa can make it to the current energy needs. It's well known the contribution of Libya, Angola, Algeria, Nigeria, and Egypt in terms of the energy landscape. And in the Caribbean, I'm really proud to say that Trinidad and Tobago actually have been drilling and producing over 100 years. And one of the first jurisdictions in the world to, in fact, to be a producer. We've also seen Trinidad and Tobago, just about 24 years ago, 1999, started the LNG industry, where we started to produce it, we got the technology to our partners, produce it and export it because of restrictions. And we were, for many years, the largest exporter to the US. We're very proud of that relationship. And we have seen in more recent times, Guyana's role. It's phenomenal, where we see they have 11 billion barrels of reserves. It's phenomenal. Current production of 400,000 barrels a day and going towards 600,000 by 2024. And Suriname, which is all within the Caribbean basin, doing some fantastic things as well, with this 90 million barrels of reserves and growing. And all making that contribution. So what does this mean, all the above? What it means is that there's an opportunity, a major opportunity for us to convert the income generated from these resources into sustainable energy and sustainable future for next generation. Why is that important? Because we have to make sure, and it was a very powerful call by leaders today, and in particular Honorable President of Guyana, to ensure that we have the local communities benefit from these resources within our territories to meet their needs today, as well as without destroying the needs of the future generations to access the same resources for their own navigation and making their contributions. And that is why sustainability is important. And we are fortunate. We do have help. We have a roadmap that is laid out for us by the recommendations.
Talk about the UN Sustainable Development Goal 7. Again, in bandy without a very popular company like yours or any Caribbean or Latin American energy producing country. How do they take advantage of this SDG 7? What does it all mean? It looks jumbled to me. I don't know what it means.
Sure. Well, we are just blessed to have energy in the ground in the form of oil and fossil fuel, but we are in trouble in the country. What that means is we have abundant wind and solar energy that we can convert and harness into renewable energy that we could use to propel our the next generation forward.
Is it profitable?
Well, it requires some investment and some time, but yes, definitely it is an opportunity to be very profitable in the future. But not just profitable in terms of dollars and cents, but in terms of the social profit and environmental profit. That social profit, it provides an opportunity to generate new careers for the next generation and provide training and opportunities that are needed.
Is that real? I mean, again, these things you hear people talk about. Oh, you got the new line of jobs and people with solar. But where are the real jobs? I mean, a company like yours, is this real? Are you hiring people? Are you
you actually doing this?
Yes, we are doing it. For the last 5 years of our strategic planning cycle, we have made definite investments in making that shift. And how did we approach that? What we did is we aligned ourselves with tertiary education institutions and universities within the region. And we have been given bursaries and rewards for excellence. But more importantly, we have been taking on internships and including them in the research and development
From universities?
from universities. So students, young people just out of the university involved in those programs with us. And our company has a vision and making a definite movement towards working with tertiary education institutions, help take them up to grade, and utilize those students and lecturers to get involved with that kind of project. And shaping policy for renewable energy policies within the jurisdiction. So there are other opportunities.
Professor, I want to come back to you, sir, if I might. West Africa, probably no stranger, to the term creeping coup. And certainly over the last series of months, we've seen any number of coups, for lack of a better word, taking place in West Africa. The question that I think many people that are not on the ground and are not getting the story told right, is this Africa's Arab Spring, or is this something else?
I would like to describe it as West African Spring Release 1. In the sense that the dynamics that are driving these military interventions by very young military officers is a product of popular collective differences by young people in those countries. And so it shares, in that sense, it shares the similarity with what we saw in the case of Arab Spring. That was driven by young people, united by the frustration that the system wasn't working for them. So in the countries in West Africa and Central Africa where this has happened, we have a common denominator, which is protest, the revolt against France. For what France has been doing over the years in terms of type of dependent ties that we have to hold on to this. So if you do a mapping of the leadership of ECOWAS, you will find that a substantial number of the leaders are 60 and above. And in the countries where these coups are taking place, the leaders are under 40. And so there is a generational dimension to understanding the dynamics that is driving the relationship between the political elite of those countries, the type of consensus they have vis-a-vis their relationship with the colonial master.
Well, what is it that they want? Because you see this young upstart group there, they're coming out and all types of announcements, but what we haven't really seen with stark clarity, what do they actually want? A lot of generalities, but what is it that they actually want?
I mean, what they want is a better life for them. What young people of those countries want is a better life for themselves. I mean, you go to, the Prime Minister mentioned that Africa has a very young population, and when you have that type of young population that are frustrated with the system, they don't see any possible future that is going to get them out of joblessness, lack of education, lack of opportunities. Inflation is a problem. They cannot afford it, and even if they afford it, it's also They just want a better life. And if the leadership of their countries do not come together and say, okay, we can use the resources that we have to provide a better life, then it becomes a problem. They have to fight that leadership. It's true that the leadership is not, France, for example, is not effectively light-hearted. They come back to the drawing board to see what is it that we can do to ensure that this doesn't happen. Like you said, we've seen it in the past.
What is it that they can do? There's so, it's hard to come back from years of hard feelings.
The conspiracy theories that abound right from when the colonization process Africa started. It's really not something that we take away lightly, because we've seen some of these political leaders taken out. We've seen them nibbling at cultural sensitivities, playing on some of those primordial sentiments that are still there and pushing it to logical conclusion. They started with so in Niger already, and unfortunately. And so we can't just think that what is it that we can do, because they still have structures that are there.
There's even an appetite for reconciliation. There's an appetite to create a new relationship based on new norms.
I don't see that. I haven't heard that relationship. I haven't heard that coming out of France. I mean, you would expect that Macron, who is a young man who wasn't born when these political structures were put in place, will be somebody who will be broad-minded. But when you see the nature and character of how the economies of West Africa and partners market to the economic interest of France, for example, you now begin to understand that as an individual, there's not much you can do. That's Macron, because it's a system thing. The resources from West Africa are a critical part of the French economy, no matter what they want to say. So it's like it's just like the first question you asked. You're using what you have had for a very long time, and how do we set that up together becomes a problem.
It's certainly an economic problem more than it is anything else at the heart and base of it. And at the drill down a little bit more, it goes back to energy. Mr. Riley, you talked about Libya and what you've seen in Mozambique and many of these Western African countries, and even Eastern African countries, where you see this unrest and tumult taking place. For whatever reason, and you also happen to be countries that either have established large resources and reserves of oil, gas, and other energies, or they're on the crux of developing these things. I want to come back to, you had mentioned, sir, the SDG 7 role, and just doing some research for our panel, and looking at what the United Nations is doing to push this Sustainable Development Goal 7, and what you find is that many of the world's leading financial institutions and governing bodies are starting to attach access to finance with regions and countries and companies that are adopting the Sustainable Development Goal 7. Are you seeing this from your perch as an energy developer in Latin America and the Caribbean?
Well, there is discussions around the availability of smart and low risk funding to advance SDG7 and Caribbean countries, and also any other country that is promoting that agenda. But there's something to navigate. It's not necessarily readily available. But we feel confident, as the president of Ghana articulated, we need to flip that conversation and work together, cooperate in terms of make it happen. Because we have a case. We have the innovation, we have the talent to make it happen, but we need to work together to access that funding. And low risk and smart funding. Just the initial trust forward. because we need technologies to bring, to harvest the energy from the sun and the wind. We need batteries to store the energy so to make it available where and when it's required, etc. So we have the competences out there, but we need to work together to make it happen.
Are you finding that the private sector is actually engaging outside private sector? Engaging, let's look at the private sector within Latin America, Caribbean, Africa. Do you find the private sector saying, we're buying into this? We're buying into this and we're going to let our dollars lead. Do you find that at all?
Yes, that conversation is happening. Critical mass is still building, but that conversation is happening because we have to find a way forward in terms of making this thing happen. But what we do find though, it is slow. This probably needs to move faster, and that can happen through the collaboration. And renewable energy is more than just having access to sun and renewable energy, but it's how do we improve the transactions and make them happen. And what we see is that fintech and Africa is extremely well. It's a good shining example for fintech. And the Caribbean effort is also growing in that area to be an enabler of making technology available and widely available. And once all these elements come together, we do believe that the funding will become more available and the private sector is committed to making it happen.
I'm going to look to wrap up this portion of our discussion, but I'm going to do it this way because I really want to get your insights, both of you. And it's a two-part question. And Mr. Riley, we'll start with you, and then Professor, we'll come to you to close this out. Mr. Riley, if you were to look at the number one impediment to growth in the region, and then the number one opportunity for growth in the region, what would you say? Two-part question.
Sure. I would say access to smart, low-cost funding for medium size and some of the startup organizations that drive by innovation. We have a lot of talent, we have commitment, but that access to low-cost funding is somewhat a little bit of an impediment. And we need to continue to push towards that. But the opportunity really lies in that African Caribbean geospace, geopolitical space. Because there are a lot of achievements, we have a lot of similar challenges, we have a lot of talents. We have in the Caribbean and the Americas, but the Caribbean alone, we see 28 million people, the diaspora in this part of the world, that are committed and excited about the trading and have building relationships with Africa and accessing the benefits of those markets, but also sharing their own innovation and opening up their own markets to the African community. So that's a big opportunity. We just need to work together and make it happen.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Professor?
I think the big opportunity I see is the investment in promoting creative cultures. I take the example of my country, Nigeria, and I see how our young, talented people have invested massively in creativity, and have reached out to the rest of the world. And so all that is left is for the political elites to have a consensus, on putting this creative, low-cost funding we are talking about in industries that are coming out of our youth, of our children. Very often we undermine and underestimate their capacity to make this happen. And we deny ourselves of the fact that they have made things to happen. They've created whole new industries. Fintech that you mentioned, the music, movies, sports. They've excelled in all those low cost. So if we make the investment in education, especially in education for advanced technologies, distributed ledger, artificial intelligence, virtual reality technologies, all those things that is driving the rest of the world. If our governments pushing a lot of money in those directions and providing requisite support infrastructure to drive those processes, I think that investment in youth is what's going to grow up that relationship. We don't have sporting relationship between Caribbean and Africa. We don't have. Our academics, we used to talk to each other in the 70s and 80s, but these days we don't have any type of conversation. There are no football matches or cricket matches between Caribbeans and African countries that play cricket. Why is that? Despite the rich historical connection that we used to have. So this type of investments, working our youth, connecting and talking to one another is something that I think will be a low-hanging solution that we can take home.
Professor, closing thoughts, and then respond. Closing thoughts. Closing thoughts.
I'd like to share a Nigerian proverb that says, no matter how long the neck of a bird is, you can never see the future. But I dare say that we can prognosticate on some elements of that future. And for me, that future is bright if we make investments in our youth.
I would like to share some words that I picked up from having dinner with a colleague that I respect a lot. And he said, don't let perfect spoil good. Let's move forward. Let's take advantage of the abundant talent that we have, and the future is in our hands.
Thank you. Let's give it a hand. Professor Ryan, thank you so much. We'd like to bring to the podium for some special presentation Mr. Edson Dos Santos, the CEO of Energies Angola. Mr. Santos. I think he's outside. Would someone hail him, please? And we'd also like to ask the extended coffee break, Mr. Santos.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's really a pleasure to be here today. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the organizers. It's been a great event so far. Really good topics discussed this morning. Well, one thing that I took away is the clear need for proactive collaboration. Right, a lot of positive messages, but I think for us on the private sector especially, it's time for action. My name is Edson Dos Santos. I'm the chairman and CEO of Edu Energias. It's an Angolan company. Angola today is probably the first or second largest or biggest oil producer in Angola. Do you have a sense of how many indigenous companies are operating in Angola today? The answer is one, and that's us. 2 years ago, we were very, very close to being bankrupt. And one thing changed it. One thing that really made a difference was that a bank believed in us, took a chance on what was some oil at the time, and that bank is here today. It's a Fraxim Bank. They took a chance on us, and we were able to turn around a company that was losing money to today a company that makes more than $180 million net profit. So tremendous change. But hence the need for this proactive collaboration and cooperation. One key message I want to leave with you is around energy poverty. My company was called Somoil before. We rebranded about 6 months ago to add to Energias. And this is linked with the move that you see around the world from purely exploration and production of oil to energy. But we cannot forget energy poverty. 80% of the energy in the world today comes from fossil fuels. Of course, as the population grows, and if you look at 2050, we tend to look at 2050 now, you'll see a growth in the world's population from 8 to about 10 billion people. And with that, the demand for energy is also going to grow. But it's not the one or the other. It's not renewables or oil, it's one and the other. We need all types of affordable and clean energy that we can produce to help improve quality of life. Okay? So energy poverty is almost as important as all the focus around decarbonization and renewables. We believe that to improve the quality of life, we need energy. Those two are linked. So the focus needs to be in both. We as a company continue to believe in crude oil. A lot of focus is investing in increasing exploration and production, but we also, that's why I say and, we are also investing in renewables, especially solar energy. So a big push in both to provide more energy for the growth of our country, our continents, and to do that well, to do that very, very well. I still believe that we need more cooperation between private and public sector, between countries and even continents. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Let's get another round of applause. Mr. Santos. And we're going to ask now for a special presentation. The governor, the honorary advisor of Kaduna State in Nigeria, to please come forward for special remarks, comments. Please, round of applause.
This is his speech. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on the investment potentials of Kaduna State and why serious investors should make it a destination of choice. Kaduna State is located in the northwestern part of Nigeria, and it offers a wide range of opportunities to provide to private sector investors in agriculture, agro-allied, infrastructure, manufacturing, tourism, mining, renewable energy, housing, transportation, and ICT. For example, in the agro-allied sector, there are huge opportunities for investors in cultivation, processing, and export of ginger, soya beans, and tomato. In manufacturing, the textile industry offers huge opportunities for investors. Kaduna was one of the main sites of the once thriving Nigerian textile industry. The Kaduna textile industry needs to be revived. It is a hugely profitable area for investors. Kaduna State has one of the highest potentials for renewable energy in Nigeria. There are great investment opportunities in this sector, especially for solar and wind power. Kaduna State is rated as one of the best in ease of doing business. We have put in place legal and institutional framework to ease business activities. Our tax system has been simplified and designed to meet the needs of both existing and new business concerns. This administration is carrying out massive infrastructural development in rural, semi-urban, and urban areas. Investors have no difficulty accessing any part of the state. We also have very attractive incentives for investors. We can allocate large expanse of land to any investor that shows serious commitment. Giving title to certificate is approved without delay. Just before we came, we gave almost 50,000 hectares to the Kuwaiti government for social housing and also to the Qataris. So we are open for business. Kaduna State has a specialized agency to welcome investors, which is a one-stop shop. We call it DEEPA. All investors need to do is just to interface with them, and all the approvals that they require will be sorted out within a very short period of time. We are committed to making Kaduna State a local and foreign investment hub in Nigeria to complement the work of KADIPA in showcasing the various investment opportunities and numerous mineral resources in Kaduna State. And we set up an ease of doing business desk in the governor's office to assist both interested foreign investors and local startups so that they can have whatever they need within a very short time with the executive support. I call on all investors to avail themselves of the huge opportunities that we have in Kaduna State. Thank you and welcome.
I have something that I don't often find myself at a loss for words, but I'm kind of shocked at a special recognition for Dr. John coming from the United Nations. They just sent one of their representatives from the Council for Justice, Equality, and Peace from the United Nations, and they want to make a special award presentation to you. I would ask for Ambassador Hughes Sanan, who's representing the United Nations, to come forward. I would ask Dr. Gianni to please come forward. A special presentation.
Thank you very much. Please put your hand together for God. Please put your hand together for God. The first is the last, is the everlasting God. My name is Ambassador Hughes Sanan. I am the special envoy and in charge of international relations for the Council for Justice, Equality and Peace at the United Nations. I have an honor to travel to many countries in the world, meeting with world leaders, ensuring that they come to the table of peace. Today we are very honored to be invited to take part at this amazing event where Africans from many different states are gathering to show the whole world we are the model of all civilization. We are the first, the most populous, the second most populous continent in the world. We are rich in gold, we are rich in culture, we are rich in everything. And we are great leaders that will come together to empower the world. So this great organization, this great leader, have worked tirelessly hard to ensure they promote the African state, the Council for Justice, Equality and Peace at the United Nations. We'd like to acknowledge the leadership of this great organization, and we want to present to them the Medal of Honor. The Medal of Honor is the biggest award ever bestowed to leadership from the Council for Justice, Equality and Peace. Today we agree that this leadership, they are qualified to receive this amazing, most powerful award. So while we present them this special medal of excellence, Please get your camera on. Award is going to continue for impacting the world and the African state. Please once again put your hands together for Please put your hands together for impacting the African state and the world and humanitarian world. Also, the Council for Justice, Equality, and Peace would like to present the Medal of Honor to the three excellencies that went wait. The event was a little long. Of course, we need to discuss things that matter to our state, our continent. So we're going to bestow this Medal of Honor to the three leadership. His Excellency IFAL, President of Guyana, and he's going to receive this Medal of Honor on behalf of His Excellency. This Medal of Honor is also bestowed to His Excellency Mr. Mohamed Jallo, Vice President of Gambia. Please put your hand on that. This Medal of Honor is also bestowed to His Excellency Emerson Mnangagwa, President of Zimbabwe. Please once again. I urge all African leaders to continue to put your head together, because together we are stronger, and together we'll continue to empower the whole world. We are 56 states at the UN. We need to have a policy at the UN Security Council. With unity, we can make it. Thank you very much.
Says I'm shocked and I'm proud to have been recognized for the work on the continent. Certainly working with Dr. Gianni now for over a decade, and being on his hip and supporting him and his efforts and great leadership that Dr. Gianni puts out every single year, fighting for a better way of life for the African diaspora. I just want to take a personal note and say thank you, Dr. Gianni, for all of the work that you're doing. Allowing me to be a part of that and working with you for 4 years. Thank you so much. And it's well deserved. Surprised, but well, certainly well deserved. We would ask that Hannah Abdul Wahab, the CEO from the National Food Buffer Stock Company of Ghana, please come to the podium for special remarks, comments. Let's bring him up with a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests. My name is Hannah Abdul Wahab, Chief Executive Officer, National Food Buffer Company. National Food Buffer Company is a food security company in Ghana, responsible for dealing with food-related issues from planting to consumption. we are also responsible for providing a minimum guaranteed price for farmers so that farmers can get value for money in terms of their production. And of course, ultimately encourage them to increase their production in subsequent farming years. We are also involved in price stabilization, supplying the stocks we have in our previous warehouses across the country to stabilize prices as and when it is necessary. We have also been given the huge responsibility of feeding over 1.5 million students under the free senior high school program. It is a flagship program that was rolled out in September 2017 by His Excellency President President. The National Food Buffer Company also comes to complement another flagship program for this government, that is the planting for food and jobs. The planting for food and jobs, it is a program to support smallholder farmers to increase their production by giving them subsidy in terms of seed and fertilizer. Papa Company is here with you today to look for the opportunity for investors to invest for production, value addition, and transportation. Most important, storage, both long-term and short-term storage. I am honored to be here with you, and I see it as a big opportunity, a big platform to share with you what we do in Ghana. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a note of housekeeping. Mr. Denishi Matursi, could you please come to the front and meet with the Kingsley over the rear of the section here. But I would like to move to the last part of our program before we break for lunch. And I would ask that Dr. Kinjami please come to the stage to go through some special awards presentations for some of the honored guests that are with us this morning, this afternoon.
It's been a very long day, but you are grouping has been a beautiful thing. Wonderful presentations by His Excellency the President of Guyana, His Excellency the Vice President of Gambia representing the President, and some of the very lovely speakers, the Vice President of President Ban. I think we all agree that African Caribbean cooperation must happen, and the time is now. Collaborations and partnership will be key in taking it to the next step. Now, we are at the final session of this event today. As is the tradition of African Leadership Magazine, we believe that if we don't celebrate our own, nobody is. And amongst us here seated are some of our finest leaders, men, women, who don't just talk the talk, but they walk the talk. They are the ones who power progress in the continent. They are what we consider our best 11. And like I always say, and like Lee Kuan Yew said, I would rather use his own quote, that progress does not just happen in third world countries. Progress does not just happen. Progress only happens when men and women, leaders, go the extra mile, pay the extra price, do the extra hours for progress to happen. And we're here today to celebrate these leaders who have paid the extra price, gone the extra mile in making sure that society moves forward, especially the African and Caribbean countries. So I'll go straight to the list of awards. We'll spend a lot of time. We have another program coming up after this. So we may not read all of your profiles. We may not be able to read all of the achievements, but I'll be calling your names and you come up stage, and then you'll be receiving the African Leadership Award. But to perform the presentations, permit me to invite the Honorable Henderson Myers of the South Carolina House of Representatives. She has a special presentation for the first, and then she'll handle the rest of the award presentation. Thanks.
I'd like to invite Mr. Oli Cato to come. Dr. Piton, I want to congratulate you and want to give you this commendation from the South Carolina House of Representatives and the other members of the House of Representatives as we recognize and congratulate you. We, the members of the South Carolina House of Representatives, welcome and congratulate Mr. Olin Kodo, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Bank of Industry Limited. Mr. Piton earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics as a UAC scholar from the University of Ibadan, and he obtained a master's degree in International Management as a Rotary International Scholar from the American Graduate School of International Management, Thunderbird campus at Glendale, Arizona. He has pioneered several innovative transactions in the Nigerian capital market and the international financial market towards Nigeria's economic development. He has held numerous positions in the financial area, and he is a role model to many. We joined the 9th International Forum African Caribbean Leadership in 2023. In commemorating him for his hard work, dedication, and service, and we thank him for his time and his talents. We extend our gratitude to him and wish him continued blessings in all of his future endeavors. It was given this 13th day of September 2023 at the South Carolina State House, Columbia, South Carolina, signed by Charles Reed, Clerk of the House of Representatives, as well as G. Merle Smith, Speaker of the House of Representatives. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to appreciate the distinguished panel of the International Forum on African Caribbean Leadership for this very special recognition and award. I am truly honored. This award truly validates the collective efforts of all stakeholders of the Bank of Industry in building Africa's leading development finance institution. In the past 5 years, our efforts have led towards raising over $5 billion from the international debt markets to towards enhancing our capacity to support our customers and the real sector in Nigeria. Together, we have successfully provided funding of over $4 billion to over 4.4 million enterprises in Nigeria through direct and indirect interventions, resulting in the creation of an estimated 10 million jobs between 2015 and 2022. The Bank of Industry has also managed and executed several social intervention funds on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria and other multilateral institutions such as the World Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, AFD, the French Agency, and AFDB. This recognition acknowledges our hard work towards building a resilient organization that can respond to the needs of our customers and operating challenges in line with the focus of the government to revitalize Nigeria's industrial sector. I would like to acknowledge the support and contribution of our stakeholders, development partners, and other strategic partners, the federal government and state governments in Nigeria, the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Honorable Minister of Finance, and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy of Nigeria, the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Committee of Governors, the management and the staff of Bank of Industry for the tireless work towards creating the bank we are today. And of course, my darling wife who is also here tonight. So our brothers and sisters in South Carolina, we say a very good thank you. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together. We are agreed not to be jealous. Here. Okay. All right. So I'll go straight to the next award. The next on my list is Mr. Edson Dos Santos, CEO of Eto Energies Angola. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you so much for the work you do. Mr. Daniel Edda, should be ready. So for those who already spoke, we may not give you the chance to speak again. But if you want to say a few words for 30 seconds, we will be happy to give you the opportunity. Mr. Daniel Edda, who is a frontline presidential candidate for Benin Republic, please make sure you shake his hand. The next time you see him, he'll be coming here as president. Mr. President. Dr. Namit Kapu, please very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I call myself blessed to be among you today, and I give the glory to God. I thank Dr. Diami and all the African Leadership Organization team. As the leaders have said today, a level of trade between the Caribbean and Africa is very low, although we have an untapped market for Caribbean products in Africa and for African products in Caribbean region. I've heard also that our young people are changing the paradigm in West Africa. Besides that, they are taking the sea, they are taking the desert, going to Europe. We have the mandate as politicians to create the environment for business, for private sector, to create jobs for our people and wealth for our nations. So I believe that meeting here today, we have received or we have got the opportunity, a unique opportunity provided by the African Leadership Organization to network, to work together, to stand as Africans globally in order to create good political governance, the conducive environment that business private sector needs to do better in terms of job creation and wealth creation for our nation. Thank you so much. I dedicate this award to the people of the Republic of Benin, assuring them that building on the past leaders' achievement and also on the current leaders' achievement, will be able to become, in the very near future, what I'm calling an economically prosperous and socially stable Benin in a well-integrated Africa. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Please start practicing Your Excellency from now. All right, let me, Dr. Nabi Kapun, founder of Peaceful Mind Foundation, as we come up stage.
First of all, thank you so much, Excellencies, and all protocols in place. It's emotional to get the first award in New York, especially for the work which I have been doing in Africa and the Caribbean collaboration. They always say, you know, that when your thoughts are clear and when you know what you have to do, you must act and you must lead. So it's always a risk to be, but I think it paid off well. And I thank the organizing team as well, who recognize the work which I have been doing in the area of international relations and mental health, getting diplomacy a new turn as well-being, and the kind of work which we have been doing, being honored by various countries. Thank you so much. And lastly, by the grace of Almighty, obviously thanking all my parents. My friend who flew from Washington is sitting right behind to cherish me up, the Ambassador Dennis. And the love of my life, who is back in India, I'll be sharing this award. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Don't forgive me, I'll practice it better. Assemble Nyambo, Chairman Joe Trans, DR Congo. Put your hands together for him as he comes on stage. Bonjour à tout le monde.
Good morning, everyone.
Il faudrait changer un peu parce qu'en fait, on a fait qu'entendre de l'anglais et l'anglais. Là, maintenant, ça sera les français.
I want to change the language a little bit. We've been speaking English all the time. Now let us hear the French.
Ça, c'est l'exploit de notre magazine African Leadership. C'est un exploit parce qu'ils sont partis des pays anglophones vers le pays francophone.
We can see the success of our magazine. They have been gone from the English countries, now we're going to the French countries.
Mais il faudra applaudir, s'il vous plaît. Le développement de l'Afrique ne peut partir que de l'interconnexion entre nous, Africains.
The development of Africa can be done just in interconnection of us Africans.
On a entendu tout à l'heure les explications, les commentaires sur la richesse de l'Afrique.
We heard a lot of explanation about the wealth of Africa.
Le Congo, notre pays, c'est un pays qui est énormément riche.
Our Congo, our country,
is one of the richest countries. Aujourd'hui, à travers le monde, on parle de forêt. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire pour protéger l'environnement, les climats? Today, a lot of people are asking themselves about the climate change, and they're speaking about the forest. Il faut nourrir le monde. C'est pas normal aujourd'hui, nous sommes en train d'attendre que nous, les Africains, nous attendons les céréales qui doivent venir de l'Ukraine pour nourrir l'Afrique. We have to feed the world. It's not normal for us Africans to be expecting cereals coming from different places than being produced in Africa. C'est comme ça que nous sommes en train de saluer les ECAF, la zone économique de libre-échange de l'Afrique. That's why we are very excited with the ECAF, the Free Zone Economic of Africa. Pour réussir, on a besoin des informations. In order for us to succeed, we need information. Les informations sur ce que tous les autres pays africains sont en mesure de faire. Et nous pourrons faire en sorte qu'entre nous, nord, sud, sud-ouest, ainsi de suite, nous pourrons nous interchanger les produits et ça ne coûtera pas trop cher étant donné que nous sommes dans un même continent. Information of what other African countries are doing in order for us to be trading between us. Le choix qu'African Leadership Magazine a fait sur notre modeste personne, notre société Gécotrans, the choice that African Magazine did on our small company, Gécotrans, c'est à partir de ce que nous appelons le local content. Ça veut dire que nous avons commencé nos activités en faisant la sous-traitance dans notre pays et grâce auquel nous avons pu investir dans notre pays à travers toute la République démocratique du Congo. We have been successful in doing the local content by subcontracting inside of our country, and we have been very successful in doing all the contract in the whole Congo. C'est ce qui nous a permis aujourd'hui, nous sommes en train de développer un projet qui va consister à faire la transformation des sables asphaltiques pour produire les bitumes. Le Congo, notre pays, c'est un gros pays. Pour construire le Congo en infrastructure, on a besoin de bitumes que nous ne faisons qu'importer. Mais notre société est en train de terminer. Dans 6 mois, nous allons commencer à produire les bitumes à base de sable asphaltique, la technologie qui est appliquée aussi à Alberta au Canada. Our company is finishing a project where we're building a factory which is going to be using the soil to be making bitumen, which is going to be used to make roads. And this is an example which has been used in Canada. We're going to be ourselves with our own product. We're going to be creating material to build our highways and roads. Jusque-là, nous observons que dans notre pays, en Afrique, surtout beaucoup plus au Congo, toutes les matières premières partent à l'état brut et nous-mêmes, nous ne faisons rien du tout. Mais nous avons pu mettre en place une raffinerie qui est déjà finie, où nous allons produire de l'or. De l'or, nous achetons de l'or brut pour produire de l'or marchand. Au lieu que nous nous retrouvons en difficulté, nous allons commencer à faire, donc à garder, au lieu de à utiliser l'or comme valeur refuge. Donc c'est la première raffinerie de l'or, 99,99%, ce qu'on appelle l'or marchand, que nous allons produire dans notre pays. In the past, we let our gold be going as a work material. But now we are putting in place a refinery of gold so that we're going to be having our own gold refined in our country before we can sell. Je remercie les organisateurs, African Leadership. Nous espérons qu'ils vont continuer comme ça et qu'ils aient de plus en plus beaucoup d'entrepreneurs francophones. Merci beaucoup. I will thank those who organize the African Magazine event so that next time they need also to increase the number of French-speaking countries in the This is a very good idea. I think that the second person I want to make friends with. I like to go to the final idea. All right. May I invite Professor Yakubu Ochefu of the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian University. Guys, good afternoon.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the leadership of the Nigerian University System, I happily accept this honor. The Nigerian University System is 75 years old. We have 265 universities operated by the federal government, state governments, and private individuals. We are open to partnerships and collaborations, and we really want to step out and we open our contacts with our Caribbean brothers. Thank you and good afternoon.
I'll call Mr. Olukayode Peter again to receive his Special Advisory Leadership Award. And while I also call on Representative D. Dawkins Hagler, leading past chair of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus, who also has a representation for Mr. Peter. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to present this award today. I have this prestigious award comes from a gentleman named Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell is actually the chair emeritus of all of the Black elected officials in the state of Georgia, and currently he serves as the chair of our foundation. He was so excited. And Representative Laura Hall is the current president, also said to tell you, you are welcome, and anytime you want to come to the United States, to let her know. They can't be here today. We're all where are we? In Washington, D.C. this week for the Congressional Black Caucus, and as soon as this is over today, I'm back on a plane to D.C. Okay. So it reads, commending Olukayode. I'm sorry. Didn't do it well. And for other purposes. And it's whereas you currently serve as Managing Director and Chief Officer of the Bank of Industry, Ltd., Nigeria's oldest and largest development institution, and whereas you utilize the significant experience you have and expertise that you have gained from a 30-year career spent working across financial sectors to achieve sustainable and positive economic impacts for Nigeria, and whereas he has further pioneered several innovative transactions in the Nigerian capital markets and at the Bank of Industry to successfully raise nearly $5 billion over the last 4 years from the international markets through syndications and the bond market, and whereas you serve as a fellow of several prestigious organizations, including the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, money, the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, more money, the Institute of Credit Administration of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Economic Society. And whereas this distinguished gentleman has given inspiration to many through his high ideals, morals, and deep concern for his fellow citizens, and whereas you are a person of magnanimous strength with an unimpeachable reputation for integrity, intelligence, fairness, and kindness. And that's good, you kind when you have money. And whereas your significant organization and leadership talents make you and your remarkable patience and diplomacy and keen sense of vision have earned you the respect and admiration of your colleagues and associates, because you are honest and dedicated individual who strives for excellence in all of your endeavors, and your primary concern is the economic health of Nigeria. Whereas it is abundantly fitting and proper that the outstanding accomplishments of this remarkable and distinguished individual be appropriately recognized. Now therefore be it resolved that you are commended for your many outstanding career accomplishments, as well as extended sincere best wishes for future health, happiness, and success. So resolved. And this is from the state of Georgia, Representative Billy Mitchell, who's also our House Democratic Caucus chair for all of the legislators in Georgia. Here you go. Now, I don't have a plan for you, but they tell, because I'm gonna make sure you have this today in your hand. We're gonna make it real pretty for you. Right. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes, please.
So we've got a couple more left to go and we're out of here. Congratulations, Mr. Peter, and the great work you've done with the branch of industry. May I call on Dr. Anselmo Montero of the Institute of Social Security of Angola to come and speak.
Good afternoon to everybody. Distinguished guests and participants to this prestigious event. It's my great honor and privilege to accept this special African Leadership Commendation Award during the 9th Africa edition of the International Forum on African Caribbean Leadership Magazine. And I would like to express my deepest gratitude in thanking you for this special award. Thank you so much. Thank you for my family too, special for my sweet daughter.
Congratulations. Young lady. Thank you. All right. She has wants to say. All right, let me invite second to last, so we're almost done. Representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, and as very quickly, the special edition of the magazine has him on the cover. If he was here, he was meant to on the page. Since he's not here, we'll read out the edition, just have a look. But please, let's invite His Excellency's representative to come up. The governor is our cover focus for the month of October. Yeah, that's the most important. Thank you. Congratulations.
Before Governor Obasani became the governor of Kaduna State, he was the senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And one of the key things that he's passionate about is the issue of financial inclusion and also extending financial opportunities within the country. And he led two very important and impactful amendment to the Financial Act. One had to do with the issue of AMCOM, one of the agencies that government created to deal with the toxic loans. And the impact of that has been quite tremendous in the economy of Nigeria. And second, was also expanding opportunities for small and medium-scale industries to have access to financial services within the economy. And one of the first acts that he did as governor was signing an executive order for financial inclusion that would allow people in the rural areas, especially the most vulnerable people who are normally excluded from financial net to be captured. And I think these are very, very important issues in ensuring that there is trade and also economic empowerment. So thank you for this award.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to His Excellency the Governor. May I invite the last Mrs. Mary Mumba. Now she received the special business recognition. Okay, yes, second to last. I've been corrected. Please come up Mary Mumba, she was supposed to receive the specialty of business from Lloyd's in London, and she was not able to make it. I'm happy with it. Executive Chairman of National Holdings Zimbabwe. Come with our hands to that podium.
Thank you very much, African Leadership Magazine. My name is Tinashe Mtarisi, and I'm a ghetto youth from Zimbabwe. This is very, very important to me, and this is very, very important for the people that I represent. So I'm going to ask you to do me one favor. I want you guys to shout out my hometown for me so that I can encourage the youngsters that have left at home that it is doable. My hometown is called Chitungwiza.
So I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to convince millionaires to shout out my hometown. I'm very happy. Thank you for doing this. 1, 2, 3. Chichikwiza. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Chichikwiza. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
This great one is a message to young people. Thank you so much, Myers. Thank you so much, all of our very distinguished guests. All of our eminent leaders that have been here, those that have to go for meetings, we want to say thank you. Professor Chefu, representing the academia, we want to say we started the work that has been done on the continent, and we relate this time with our skill. Thank you so much for the time, for the great work at BOI. And to all of our very distinguished guests, my dear brother Eda from Benin, I'm looking forward to visiting you as president, so they deliver the goods to the people. And to all of our very distinguished guests, thank you so much for coming. We do have another session that starts at 2 p.m. in the same room. We have the president of Kosovo, we have some first ladies of Burundi and a few others, but it's gender focused. And by all means, if you want to stay behind, let us know and we'll accommodate you. Thank you again, and do have a fantastic day. Over to you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Please join us for the
Thank you again, everyone, for coming out and participating in this morning session. We hope it was fruitful for you. We hope that you made some great exchanges. There's some fantastic energy all throughout the morning. Hopefully you make some solid contacts. And that's what forums and sessions like this is all about. Getting information, more information as you depart, what you came in with, and meeting someone or someone that you didn't know prior to coming in. So as Dr. Gianni said, this concludes the morning program for us. There's some refreshments on the break side, on the right side of the hall. And then for the women's program, we will reconvene at roughly 2 o'clock to go through that session. So again, on behalf of the African Leadership Magazine, thank you so much for coming out and participating with us. And on behalf of Dr. Gianni and the whole African Leadership Magazine team, thank you so much. God bless. Enjoy the rest of the day.